you obviously use YouTube and also other social media channels. Have you ever been suppressed by the platform? Have you had any issues that way?
So there's only been one upload that I had to YouTube, and it was more of their actual software that actually picked something up that wasn't actually what it identified it as in my video, and I just appealed it, and they aired it right
Okay.
away. There's been some of my stuff that I've had age restricted. But when it comes down to different platforms like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram isn't quite as bad. YouTube and whatnot. There's algorithms in all of them that are determining how far and how much reach that your content has, and basically they're trying to appease the viewer is what the goal of most
Right.
of these social
Right.
media platforms is, right? So I would say all of it is subject to it. But at the same time, I don't really think I've put anything out there that would be, grossly controversial to a point where you would be massively misleading, your viewership kind of thing.
Right.
So I wouldn't say that I've really been subjected directly to it. There's just been a few different things, and mostly when I do an upload, I'll get what I expect out of it most of the time. So.
Gotcha. Yeah, I know. The reason I ask is because I do listen to the Steve Rinella podcast. I don't know if you know the name, but he's the Meat Eater podcast.
Okay, yeah, I know who you're talking about now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and he was talking about YouTube having a policy in place where if you had hunting videos, you're not allowed to show the animal fall to the ground, which is the kind of the purpose of a hunt,
It
unless you
is.
miss. Yeah,
So that's a hard one to navigate, I think, Tony. And relating to the beef industry as well as hunting and whatnot. There's parts of what we do in the beef industry that if somebody didn't understand would be very concerned seeing an animal go through a certain process kind of thing. But same with hunting and same with anything. I think the most important thing is for everybody to realize that absolutely everything we do is to promote and to help the comfort and the wellness of the animal during its time that we have it on planet, alive on planet. Sorry. As far as processing, vaccinating, tag identifications, and a few different things. And then when it comes down to the slaughter of an animal, it's done as humanely as possible as well, which is, the reason why we hunt is to try and control populations and keep them healthy and to make the death of an animal be as humane as possible. Right. So
yeah.
I understand why people wouldn't want that aired, and maybe it's if I don't see it, it doesn't happen kind of thing. But on the other side of that, it's important that we continue to expose ourselves to the realities of how we manage our environments and how we eat and how our food supply chain works. Because if we lose touch with that and all of a sudden don't understand that one ugly part that we don't want to talk about, it can dismantle the other parts of it very quickly, right?
No, absolutely. And that's the big thing about, Canada has a huge agriculture and agribusiness industry, including what you're doing with cattle. And
Mhm.
again, we want people to support that. We don't want people to say, no, that isn't what Canada is all about, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I've done a few now, and I'm changing the way I do them a little bit, and I'm going to do a few more. I've got a few coming on biodiesel and a couple different things, but it's just we need to tell our story as much as we can as being parts of these processes in Canada here in the world. Because if we don't tell our story, someone else is going to tell them for us.
Yeah.
And if we have someone else telling our stories for us, they're not always going to get told the way they should be told. So that's been a bigger part of my goal of trying to bring a lot of the positive sides of what we do in the beef and agriculture sector here to Canadians' attention.
So what do you think about Justin Trudeau?
What's our language rating on that? I'm not a supporter of Justin Trudeau. I feel that our government is taking us down a dangerous and dark path with some of the energy policies that we have. I would like to see a little more experience in a lot of the cabinet ministers that we currently have. I would like to see some more experience and some more fiscal responsibility come from our government. And I just feel like we're being led very, very poorly by a weak individual. And I look around at a lot of world leaders and see people that I would be like, that is a person I would want standing up and speaking for me. And I don't see any of it from Mr. Trudeau. And I think we're in a very tough spot as Canadians, specifically in Western Canada, as of recent, because we seem to be losing a lot of support of our federal government.
We're going to continue this conversation with Quick Dick McDick, real name Dickson Delorme, right after the break. Stay with us. We'll be right back.